with us on Overdrive. Now, the Ultraviolette F77 is India's most powerful electric motorcycle and it goes up against Mumbai's most unpredictable rains. Take a look.
The Ultraviolette F77 can be seen as a real marvel of Indian engineering, a real diamond in the rough. It is the quickest two-wheeler EV that India has produced to date. And yes, it is slightly on the more expensive side of things. Well, as you can see, monsoon has just about set in. But how does that EV fare out in the city, out in the real world? Well, we're about to find out.
So I find motorcycle rides out in the monsoon season to be extremely fun. Well, there's not a lot of dust and dirt flying around Mumbai, and it just makes the place appear like a greener, cleaner city, well, if it's not underwater completely. I just wanted to check if everything would be the same as it was with an ICE motorcycle with the now performance-focused EV like the Ultraviolette F77.
I'm going to start off in combat mode because, well, the glide mode, which is the most economical, isn't all that great. So combat mode and ballistic mode being the most powerful. Combat mode is more adequate for the city. So I'm going to start off with that, and as of now it's showing me a good range of 204 kilometers with 100% state of charge. So let's see how it goes.
The F77 comes equipped with specific ride modes that optimize performance in the rain. These modes ensure better traction control and adjust power delivery to suit wet weather conditions. Riding in the monsoon becomes safer and more manageable thanks to these intelligent features. The F77 comes with 3 ride modes, the first being Glide or Eco mode. Well, despite being focused on efficiency, the Eco mode still offers a surprising burst of acceleration. This makes it enjoyable to ride, even when you're trying to be mindful of range and energy consumption. But its rate of acceleration does feel limited while overtaking in the city, and so too its top speed of 70 kmph. It still feels a bit drab, even for wet roads. A little too conservative for me then. Thanks to the ride-by-wire throttle, the bike pulls away nice and smooth, and there's no snatchy behavior even when you suddenly ring the throttle while you're on the move. The F77 strikes a great balance between economy and power, especially in this combat mode. When riding in the rain, comfort becomes a key factor. Riding solo, the suspension feels slightly stiff, which makes it nice and sporty if you're pushing it, but if you have somebody load up the pillion seat, the rear softens up beautifully, making some of Mumbai's most confounded roads very bearable. And if you crave that splash of adrenaline, well then ballistic mode is the ideal choice because it unleashes the full 29 kilowatt of peak power from the electric motor, offering remarkable acceleration and a top speed in excess of 140 kilometers per hour. But in the wet, if you're new to this bike, well, I tell you that this mode is best reserved for straight stretches of road. The range will drop down a fair margin, but if you're well within range of your destination, well, it's totally worth it, I'll tell you that. One feature that the F77 cannot do without has to be the reverse function. The reverse function simplifies parking and, well, the blinking hazard lights tells people behind you of what you're up to when visibility is hampered in the rain. Whenever I felt confident enough to pick up the pace, I found the 3 levels of regenerative braking on the F77 to be rather inadequate, even at the highest setting. Well, because although it may charge the batteries as it should, as soon as I rolled off the throttle, well, it felt like I was coasting. And this happened up till a speed of around 50 kmph, which was mighty unsettling, especially considering the wet weather conditions when you need this system to function in a manner similar to the way engine braking would in a regular ICE powered motorcycle. Also, carrying the F77's portable charger unit during rides becomes a logistical concern due to its size and weight. The only option is to carry it in a backpack. However, the weight of the unit will destroy your back if you plan on a fairly long ride out of town. So currently in Mumbai, it's best that you charge it up fully and then have a go at it, which does limit your range as of now. As far as charging time goes, it took about 5 hours for the F77 to get its juice back up to 100%.
Now the Ultraviolette F77 in the Mumbai Monsoons. Now I have to admit I was a bit skeptical at first because, well, it being an EV and a performance-focused EV at that, well, as you know, EVs are all about that initial torque and initial acceleration and everything. But the way this motorcycle is configured with the ride modes, the throttle calibration, the way the brakes are set up, the amount of grip the tires give you, the suspension, the way that holds up over all sorts of surfaces, and even the unforeseen bumps that you are going to hit, well, it just holds up so nicely. You will have a real good amount of fun on this motorcycle, even in ballistic mode. But then again, yes, it is on the expensive side. There are a couple more features that I would have liked to see on this motorcycle. Now, the biggest shortcoming I found with this motorcycle has to be with the regenerator system, because although you have 3 levels of regeneration to toggle between, well, even in the highest mode, well, it did feel like I was coasting even though I rolled off the throttle. In the regular ICE engine motorcycles, when you get off the gas, well, you have that engine braking to slow you down naturally as the engine would, which technically the energy regeneration system should work in that same manner on these kind of vehicles. But then again, it doesn't appear to be configured as nicely as I would have liked on this vehicle.
While there are areas for improvement, the F77 remains a thrilling electric motorcycle option for riders in urban settings. It's expensive to own initially, but it's meant to save you money in the long run. It's fun to ride out, but currently a hassle to charge on the go. So, although it is sustainable, it is rather impractical.
Well, with that, it's a wrap on this week's edition of Overdrive. But remember, you can stay in touch with the team through Facebook, Twitter, as well as YouTube. And you can follow our latest updates on Instagram. We'll see you next week. Until then, drive and ride safe.